Yep.
You can just leave your mic unmuted, by the way. Hello, everybody, and welcome to More Trees About McMurray with Antara and Lyra, myself. Kira was our former member, but due to other obligations, it did not allow her to finish out the year with us, but she's still a big part of the project, and we want to give her the credit that she deserves. In this project, we worked really hard to make sure we gave you the best. And with it, we used science by herbology, sorry, that word always gets caught up, and just studying plants.
We used engineering by doing it on a computer and virtually.
We used engineering.
Design process, yes.
We did engineering again for just the project together, and we did the engineering and design process.
And then we use art by adding poems, creative designs, pictures, and stickers.
And last but not least, we used math to calculate and make sure that everything is correct and not wrong. We don't want to give you wrong answers. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hi there. We are going to be telling you guys about a place we think needs trees, why it needs trees, and how we can give it more trees.
Wait, isn't there something we need to do first?
Yes, I think we do.
Our driving question, that's it. Well, what is our driving question, Atara?
Our driving question is, how can we as engineers design and create a solution for a healthy and sustainable environment for the Nashville community?
Well, what are our problems?
Our problem is to get, we're working on a problem because there's no trees at McMurray and we want more trees there. Because the sidewalks are very hot, there's no shade, and it's all happening because there's barely any trees there. And we need to care about this because trees give us benefits like cool sidewalks, shade, cool air, and even more.
You should have piqued my interest there. Well, we all had a voice in this project. What were our voices?
Well, we all care a lot about trees and want everyone to protect and care for them. We came to do this because we saw that trees are needed at many places and we wanted to help them get there. We all had our own part by adding our unique ideas and touches to this PowerPoint.
But we can't just pull stuff out of thin air. We need to do research. With that, we found that the swamp white oak is planted on highway rights of way and is frequently used as a shade tree for large lawns, golf courses, parks, and neutralized areas, aka school grounds would be a very good and big part. The crown-shaped and bicolored leaves, dark above, light beneath, are attractive features. Fall color is yellow with occasional red-purple. The trees can grow well in areas that are dry, poorly drained, and wet, or even occasionally flooded. And they will tolerate significant soil compounds.
In our research, we also found that swamp white oaks are the best because they are cheap, easy to plant, and keep from flooding.
Here's just some more information on our swamp white oak, such as the cost to plant, $50 to $100,000. The stormwater monetary benefit, $1.39. Property value, $8. Natural gas savings, 48 cents. Energy savings, 57 cents. Air quality monetary benefit, 38 cents. Carbon monetary benefit, 15 cents. And our total value is $11 saved.
We thought of planting a swamp white oak because it doesn't cost too much. It's bigger and gives more shade. It saves lots of energy and has amazing air quality benefits.
And here's a picture of our swamp white oak. In the distance, you can see a girl, and you can see that shade. Imagine if that girl walked up closer and sat under that tree. Well, I mean, she looks really hot in that sun. She looks really cooled down in that shade.
We also thought of planting a redbud because it looks pretty and it gives a nice touch to the school, and it also has the same benefits as the swamp white oak or other tree trees.
Here's a picture of our redbud. You can see it gives a decorative color, but it also is a shade tree, just like the swamp white oak. But that's not its main purpose independent. But Antara, which school should we do it at?
We should do it at McMurray Middle.
We want more trees at McMurray Middle because
it barely has any trees,
no shade,
hot sidewalks,
no cold air or breezes. More trees where and why? Here you can see we have a picture of our McMurray Middle. We have the field, the baseball field on the other side, car and bus parking, we have sheds, we have the entrance up front, and we have parking at front. And just a heads up, trees will be popping up here. A key. And Tara, do you want to tell them about our key?
So like the dark green colored trees will be our swamp white oaks, and our like pinkish colored trees will be our redbud trees.
Just a heads up, the swamp white oak will vary anywhere from a bright green to a dark green to a black. You see, we're starting to get some trees on the field. Why would that be beneficial?
Well, if players are playing on the field and it's very sunny and they have like a break, then and they need some like shade and somewhere to cool off, they could just sit under the tree and like relax and cool off.
Oh, look, there's one on the sidewalk at front. Why do you think that would be beneficial?
Well, it will give the school a nice touch and it'll look prettier from the roads.
We have another swamp white oak near the sheds. It looks sort of like that other tree by the sheds, just a tad bit different. So it looks like it fit in, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have another redbud. We just put one more. Oh, look, there's one by the parking out front.
That'll keep the cars not very hot when the staff goes back home.
I agree. Well, as more and more trees pop up, you have benefits such as cool building or bus. You have just a place where it's going to look nice. some that are soon going to be popping up near the entrance, which are going to give a, you know, welcome feel and remind students just take a breath and you're going to do great today. Is there anything that we haven't touched down on for our map, Antara? Just
I don't think so.
A lot nicer. I think I'd want to go to McMurray for that reason. But why did we put the trees specifically in those places?
Well, we put them there because it gives shades to parking and sidewalks. They make nice landscaping and are easy accessible to students and staff. And they also make the school grounds look livelier.
And Tara, do you know what time it is?
It's tree jokes time.
With Tara. This is an interactive part, so if you want to unmute and interact, go right ahead.
What did the tree wear to the pool party? Swimming trunks.
I thought about that.
Why did the leaf go to the doctor?
What is it? I can't think of what.
It was feeling green.
No.
How do trees get on the internet?
These are good, y'all.
Hey,
Login.
I love that.
login.
Good job.
What did the tree do when the blank closed?
It decided to leave.
No, it started a new branch.
I got that wrong.
How can you say that a tree is a dogwood tree?
Ooh, because of his bark.
You
Yeah.
clicked the answer too fast, Antara. We were gonna guess the bark.
That was me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm joking.
I was getting excited. No, I knew
That
that.
was great, you guys. That was so interactive. Okay, I'm back on mute. That was great.
Credits to Antara. She found the jokes all by herself and added it in this slide. What are 21st century skills?
Well, they're how our learning about our topic and working in our group make us better at communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. For me, it made me produce more ideas, helped me talk more with my team, made me spark more ideas, and I was also getting more art ideas.
Oh, I get it now. So for communication, I would say when you work in a group, you can pick up better cues to pique everyone's interest. In a project, for collaboration, everybody has their own part, and it's sort of like making a cake. You have to make sure that the flour and the butter go together well, just like how you have to make sure both sides of the party need to have their ideas into the project. With critical thinking, it can make you get more ideas and you question more things. And with creativity, well, for me personally, creativity is when it sparks just inside of me and it makes me feel inspired. And I feel trees are a big part of that. Also with like when people do something and it looks really neat, sometimes you get ideas from that and it makes you feel creative and want to do something sort of like it. But we've gone through this a little bit before and we have had to reflect on some things. So what was some of the feedback we got?
Well, for feedback, we got adding more pictures, making it look more attractive, and maybe adding another tree, and not talking word to word from the PowerPoint.
I hope we're not doing that too much now. And some of the changes that we made was we added more designs and pictures. We researched our trees a little bit more to get all the facts right, and we even added another tree. By the way, feedback we got was from teachers, family, friends, and these two tree workers from the Cumberland River Compact Group. Well, where could this project go next?
Well, we only hope that more and more trees be planted. We very much care about our environment and we want everybody to have clean air and a chill place to sit.
If I remember correctly, we had a few ideas on places we can look. For example, www.naturehills.com. They are a American online plant nursery, and they deliver trees and they give all kinds of really neat facts about it.
But we also can't do it alone.
We need you to give us your
Trust
time.
and effort.
Time is not equal to effort. Yes, you can put time into effort or effort into time, but just because time goes by does not mean more effort has been put in. You need to work hard for what's going on. You can't just assume it's going to happen because the clock is ticking.
Trees give us life, we give them company. Trees give us air, we give them food. Trees are for us, we are for them.
And Tara, that's a really good quote and a really neat drawing. And here we have some McMurray information. We have our principal, Dr. Tashaka Caverson. We have the Twitter, the office, the address, and some contact emails. And Tara, I do recall, do you want to sing the engineering design process thing?
Um,
It's okay if not.
well, I forgot for technology. I mixed it up. For technology, we did this all on a computer, so
Yeah, but question time, and we can recite the song if you need. So let me stop sharing so you guys can ask questions.
I will first start out by first. I wanted to make sure to give you an applause. That presentation, I appreciated the detail. I appreciate your you're making me stutter. I appreciated the pace that you provided, the background knowledge. I was really interested in the trees because um, when I used to work for the national forest, and so you picking out some of these trees and the colors that it would provide from riding the red buds, those cerces are going to be beautiful if this proposal is accepted. I was really interested in the amount of the swamp oaks. I saw the locations were by the field. Many of them. I mean, you had a lot of them scattered out. I think it was the shed and the field. Um, was there a reason why you started out beside the field first? And these are just general questions. I mean, the locations, I agree. I think those are very, those are proper locations. Was there a reason why you chose to put the first ones on your presentation? And it may not have been, but was there a reason why you put the oaks over there first, and then you began to talk about the other trees around the school?
Um, Not particularly, but we had started, like, we did put some of our first trees by the field, because we know how important it is when you're exercising to be able to not be overheated. And it even helps when, like, a game's going on to help cover up without people, like, so people have to be able to pay instead of just, like, looking outside, because that could be a really big benefit to the school, help them out.
I do have another one. Which tree did you start out with first? I read in your, I mean, as you talked about your feedback, you started out with one, and everyone suggested you add another tree. Which one did you start out with in your first presentation?
The swamp white oaks.
We started off with that one for shade, and then we decided to add the red bud because it give it a nice touch, and it have similar benefits since you want similar beneficial things for the same area. Just so if a flood happens, you want both trees to be able to be prepared for that instead of, like, just one tree is going to soak it up and the other's going to go flop right on the floor. you know?
Thank you. I'm done. I'm going to let someone else talk.
If I weren't on mute, then that would be great. So I'm so sorry, y'all. But I do it at least 2 to 3 times a day, even after all this time. But one of the things I was wondering is like how much you guys must have practiced as a team, because I noticed your voice patterns and how well you wait for the other person and lead in with the other person. So what was your collaboration like?
Well, it took quite a while to perfect it. Like, last presentation, we still hadn't perfected it, but we, like, after that happened, we took some notes and then thought about what can make it better.
So just from from your presentation earlier to this one, you were able to make that transition?
No, of course not. We had practiced before yesterday and a
Last
few other days just to make sure to get feedback, to make sure it looks good, just to get it all together instead of just like here's one chunk of the cake and then here's another.
It's it came together very well, y'all. Really, really good job. You lead in with each other, and I really like the way too the other member of your team that you mentioned, how that person was able to contribute, and you acknowledged that, and how important of a part each of you play in that process. So really good teamwork evident all throughout the presentation here.
Thank you.
And I do want to compliment you too on your choice of trees, because one of the things that I saw on your slide is how versatile the trees are that you picked. And I think Miss Denny may have mentioned this too. So the oak tree that you mentioned, it can survive in dry weather, flood weather, it's in addition to being covered. Like, so that was just, to me, that also shows like your thought process for the engineering design process, because you really define your problem and you come up with a solution that meets, like the various conditions we have in Tennessee in terms of weather. So good job on that part too. I can really see that research.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things that you pointed out toward the end, though, is that like how you hope to grow the project. Have you, especially with that cost analysis that you guys gave on that one slide, how how did you come to understand? Because at the end, you kind of show how much money could be saved, like over a period of time. What made that important for you?
You want, like, if we're going to do such a big project like this, we want it to give benefits because the world isn't just about greed and we want your money. We need to help each other out. like if the school is going to have to put in a part to that budget, we want to be able to have them get a budget back.
Impressed. That is the end of that. That was so well said. Like I really enjoyed my time with you guys. And Antara, I'm gonna have to connect with you so you can help me with just breaks in my presentation because those jokes, they were cutting edge. I have to I've got to compliment you on that one. Good job.
They were awesome, weren't they?
Yeah, I got one of them right. I got one right. That's all that matters. Curiosity. What grade are you ladies in? I'm very interested.
I'm in
What
sixth.
grade?
I'm in
I'm
sixth.
Well, I'll
They're
tell you
impressive,
what.
aren't they? Fifth and sixth graders.
Yeah, I was about to
Very impressive.
Jordan, that's exactly what I was about to say. I was about to say it. Even though they can hear me, I'm going to pretend they can't hear me. Lady, these ladies are definitely staples for us to keep our eyes on. The verbiage and their diction and their thought process was astounding. I don't want to say it too much to them because they'll start blushing. So that's why I'm saying it to you, Miss Jordan. Um, that please let them know to continue with this thought process. Continue. It sounds like this is a passion. And now I'll talk back to you, ladies. It sounds like this is a passion project of yours. And I always use that verbiage and terminology when I can hear that someone has taken time and that they think through the whole process and they have a desire for a solution and to give back. You're willing to take that extra effort to go into it. And you seem like you had fun doing it. When it's a passion project, you have fun. It doesn't matter how many hours it takes. And you love feedback. Every time you started talking, you talked about the feedback you received and how you modified or iterated from that process. You went through the whole iterative design process, the engineering design process each time. And so I commend you. I respect what you have done. And I do not want you to let go of this. Please don't. If you want somebody in the corner to go like this when you present next time to a larger crowd, I agree. The animations, I heard you guys had gone in and put more animation in it. It did make it more interactive. Things were moving, and it caused me to want to look at the pictures while listening to you. While listening to you speak. And so that was a proper placement. And so I'm going to stop talking because I don't want you blushing. Miss Jordan, I don't want them blushing. Tiffany, I don't want them blushing. Mr. Griffin Minor, I'm sorry. So I quit. But no, thank you, lady. Thank you very much.
I have one more tree joke.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so it's why did the pine tree get into trouble?
I don't know. What? Why?
That's a hard one.
Because it was being naughty.
Okay, no, in my
Disputed by
next set
both.
of presentations, seriously, Antara, I will have a portion of this, and I am going to give you credit for it. Like, I am going to give you credit. That is outstanding.
That was your partner that just did. Please keep them going. And I actually like your phrase, your saying about the trees and how we give and take. I would love to see that put on a poster and placed in the STEM hallway. Really. I think that'd be cool. So Jordan, if that's okay, um, literally that should be blown up and framed in the hallway, and we can frame one for you guys to have too.
Oh yeah, and Tara's pretty good at like drawing on her iPad and stuff. So I bet she could come up with a poster of it herself too and send it to me. So
do it. I mean, if you have the time, of course. Do it. All right, I'm good. Thank you all so much.
And Lyra, you can be my, like, moving forward, like, commentator, moderator of each future presentation. So, because you have a wonderful speaking. So together, you two are a dynamic duo, like, seriously. Just
Your poise
really.
is real.
yes.
So
Awesome,
you just
ladies.
all right. I'm good. How are you, Miss Griffin Minor?
Any other questions or anything like that?
No, I asked mine.
Perfect. Well, Cece and Tiff, y'all are able to go over to the debrief room if they sent you that if you want to. And I'm just going to finish up with the girls.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for your time, you guys. Bye-bye. Bye, Miss Jordan.
Bye.
Bye.